We are here on Arizona Week. Colorado just held their press conference up in the Champions Center. We're not going to bury the lead here, Brian. Travis Hunter expected to play against the Wildcats.
Yeah, Coach Prime said for certain that he would play, as well as Jimmy Horn. So that's good. Both those guys obviously missed the entire second half the other day, and it was unclear what was going on with them. So it's good to hear that they're back. Omari Miller, unfortunately, it sounds like he could be out for the year. Had surgery yesterday as we're doing this, and I don't know the injury, but probably lower leg it looks like, and so and probably out for the year. So that's really disappointing for him. But at least team-wise and for going forward, you love to hear that Jimmy Horn and Travis Hunter are back.
No question. With Omari and Miller, that was a tough one to watch because he was playing so well, finally got an opportunity. We saw glimpses of him last year as a true freshman, obviously that big half against USC. It was very reminiscent of when Jordan Tyson went down. Again, we haven't got the particulars with the injury, but you knew it was bad when it happened. And Travis being back, Jimmy being back, I don't know how much it impacts his team right now, but that's one of those guys that I asked Leonte Wester, like, how do you reach out to Omari in this situation? They're just planning to be there for him. That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's all you can do, and it is unfortunate. And you're right, it was just like the Jordan Tyson play. I think Tyson's was a knee, but both of them were on. They made big receptions, had big plays, and go down, and obviously devastating. And Omari Miller is such a great player. We've seen clearly with this team, he's not getting the reps that he probably deserves for his talent because there's so many other good veterans above him. But he's just a fantastic player. I know Buff fans are looking forward to seeing him next year because Jimmy Horn won't be here and Travis probably won't be here. Will won't be here. So, Omari's got a bright future. It's just unfortunate that he went down like that because he can still help this team right now, as we've seen so far this year.
It was right before that was about a 50-yard reception he got hurt on, that I'm thinking Omari Miller is going to be this team's leading receiver next year, and that goes down. So unfortunate, but they have a football game, and we see Cam Rising get ruled out for the rest of the season. You see some other injuries across. Torrey Horton up at CSU, and so this is part of the game. But Travis Hunter is going to be healthy. Yeah. And we've been waiting for this Tetaroa McMillan versus Travis Hunter matchup on Saturday, and it sounds like we're going to get it.
Yeah. I remember our buddy Yogi Roth from the Pac-12 Network. I was on his podcast this summer, and one of the first things he mentioned to me was, I can't wait for that Arizona game when Travis goes against Tetaroa McMillan. And so a lot of people have been waiting for this matchup, and so when he went down the other day, I think that was a lot of people's thoughts. Like, oh man, we're not going to get McMillan versus Hunter, but it sounds like we're going to get it, and I'm looking forward to it because I think that's going to be fantastic. I mean, I'm not sure who's the better receiver in the country, Travis Hunter or Tetaroa McMillan, but I know that Travis is one of the best corners, and so seeing those two against each other is going to be a lot of fun.
Not quite seeing why Arizona is a favorite in this game. We'll get into that later in the week. Coach Prime said that Isaiah Augustov might be the feature back this week. At least that's what I took away.
Yeah, I mean, he said, hey, 2-3 sounds like he's going to have his time. He goes, all the others have started. It's probably his turn. He's earned it, in my opinion. I mean, he's had limited reps, but when he gets out there, it's like, man, he just runs differently than those other guys right now. And I think if he's your lead back, and then the others come in as change of pace, I think that could be a better thing for this team. Now, I want to see it, but that's at least what I think based on what I've seen to this point. Like, Isaiah needs more touches.
We had a chance to talk to BJ Green, got his first 2 sacks on Saturday. Any takeaways from his message to the media today?
Yeah, really just, I asked him to assess his play this year, and he said the first 5 games I didn't really play like myself, and this last game I did, and he said, I expect that every week. He was asked, can you get 2 sacks? And he goes, that's what I expect every week. And so if he can get that, that'd be phenomenal for the Buffs. But he clearly is a really good player. I think he played better the first 5 games than he said. But those sacks help. When you're that type of guy, you're a defensive end, you need the sacks. And so I think that was a big boost for him.
We also talked to Leonte Wester. I'll tell you, his short area quickness is something to behold. It has not manifested itself with the punt returns, but we've seen him in those short yardage situations down in the red zone where he's zigzagging through guys, and that really needs to be appreciated too. I mean, we're all focused on Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, but Leonte Wester is a pretty special talent as well.
Yeah, he really is. It was actually kind of funny going back and watching that play on TV, that first touchdown, and Travis Hunter kind of directing him like, go this way. And part of my thought was, I'm not sure Leonte needs that, because he's going to go wherever his body takes him, but he's fun to watch. And I know for him, I talked to him before the season, and he's talked about it before, that he knew he wasn't going to get the same amount of touches as he got at FAU. That was almost impossible to catch 108 passes on this team. But he's making impactful plays, and he's already got 7 touchdowns, which is one off of his career high already, and we're halfway through the season. So he's going to get a dozen touchdowns, and so and that doesn't happen around here very often. I don't know what the record is off the top of my head, but I know there's only 11 guys in CU history that have had more than 7 touchdowns in a season receiving, and he's already knocking on that door. So he's a lot of fun to watch.
His fluidity and just wiggle is, like you said, special to watch. So Shiloh Sanders comes into the post-game press conference. First off, credit to him. He heard the criticism. He acknowledged that. I understand that it was a rough Saturday evening for Shiloh Sanders there in the secondary. At times, though, people are just so quick to just cancel Colorado players or just give up on them. He was a solid football player for Colorado last year. You can't have that effort from your free safety the next 6 games.
Right.
They're not going to do that if that's the case. So with Shiloh, just give it another week, right?
I think so. And he sort of alluded to this, but I thought this on Saturday night. I said in our post game that I don't think Shiloh's going to play that way. I expect Shiloh to be better going forward. But he alluded to this, that, look, he missed almost 4 full games. He missed 3 full games and got injured 7 plays into the Nebraska game. He hadn't been out there in a long time, and he was amped up to go hit somebody. And I think that he was probably too amped up and was trying too hard to make a play, and that turns into what we saw out there. He's not played like that before, and so I don't expect it going forward. I've also got to give some credit to DJ Giddens because, I think that, he did that. It wasn't just Shiloh. He did that too. I mean, Shiloh was, there was a few of those plays that it was highlighted, that Shiloh was getting beat on those, but Giddens did it to other people too. And that's one of the shiftiest backs, we've seen in a while. He's really good. So, I expect Shiloh Sanders to be just fine. I think he's a really good football player. I think that he'll be just fine. I'm going to be watching him this Saturday because I think that the spotlight's going to be on him, and I don't know about pressure, but I think that he's going to be determined to show that he's better than what he was on Saturday.
It's a big game for Colorado down in Tucson on Saturday, so we're going to be back later this week to preview more of that matchup against the Wildcats.